The elderly man sobs like a child. Amid the fury of the storm and the chaos and noise of the 24 or so terrified souls crowded into the narrow lifeboat around her, Alice tries desperately to remember her training. But the simple remedies for seasickness, the songs and games to keep the children entertained, the procedures to follow in the unlikely event of an instruction to abandon ship are of no use to her now. There was no protocol to follow for when you found yourself in an open lifeboat in a furious storm, your ship torpedoed by a German U-boat and sinking fast, lifeboats all around you capsized, damaged and waterlogged, leaving desperate souls floundering in the raging water. Alice crawls forward, infant-like, on hands and knees. Concealed iron rivets and hard wooden ridges dig painfully into her skin. The wind screams. Needle-sharp hailstones hammer against her forehead. She shuffles blindly on, bumping into huddled forms and clambering over bare feet and legs. All around her, male voices call out instructions she doesn't understand.
Pull the Fleming gear! Under the thwarts! Lash him to the gunwale!
There is so much noise, she can't think straight. She lunges forward as the boat pitches sharply down, and another wall of frigid seawater drenches her from head to toe, sluicing down the back of her thin cotton jacket and blouse, seeping into her torn stockings, and forming lakes in her best leather shoes. At last, her hands connect with a low bench-like seat. She hauls herself onto it, wraps her arms around her body, and closes her eyes to the nightmare surrounding her, just as she had as a frightened child, crouched at the back of her grandmother's wardrobe, willing the awful noises downstairs to stop.
Miss, I need you to help them.
The man in the pajamas has returned. His eyes are wild, his voice urgent.
You're with the Seavacs, the evacuees, one of them escorts.
It is a statement, not a question. Alice nods as her eyes settle on a tangle of reedy arms and bare feet huddled against the thwarts behind her. Barely able to distinguish one child from another, she counts 5 boys and 1 girl. They are each bunched up into a tight ball, hands wrapped around their knees, heads bent against the wind and rain. She doesn't recognize any of them.
They're not from my group,
she shouts to make herself heard above the storm.
I was assigned to Lifeboat 7.
There must be another escort in this lifeboat, someone responsible for these children.
Are there any other children?
The man grabs her shoulder.
No, and I don't care which bloody lifeboat you were assigned to. They need you to help them, for Christ's sake.
His words swirl and snap at her as the lifeboat plunges violently down again. Alice's teeth chatter uncontrollably. Her entire body convulses with shock and fear and cold as the lifeboat rears and bucks wildly. She clings to the seat, too terrified to move. Please, just leave me alone. Help will be on the way. The man stumbles forward so that his face is right in front of Alice's, his eyes fixed on hers. There is an intensity to his stare, but there is also compassion.
What's your name?
Alice. Alice King. She can hardly speak. She trembles so much.
Listen, Alice. I know you're frightened. We're all bloody terrified.
He looks up as someone shouts for help from the other end of the lifeboat.
They're crying for their mothers, and you're the only woman in the lifeboat now.
He stumbles away from her, responding to the panicked shouts and screams now coming from every direction. She shuffles toward the bedraggled creatures. The 5 boys are dressed in their pajamas. The girl wears a thin lace-trimmed nightie. Only one of them wears an overcoat. Only one is wearing shoes. It's all right, children, she says as the lifeboat plunges down. Help is coming. Is anybody hurt? They all shake their heads. That is something, at least. Alice peels off her jacket and drapes it around.